it's, it's risk versus liability. And really, are you going to stand there and watch somebody bleed out because you just are worried about getting sued when you have the capability to provide or save their life, So when it boils down to it, Mobilized Rescue went through.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you to show people the bigger kit. That way they can see.
So here's the comprehensive kit. So this is the Big Mama. She'll do up to 4 people at once. And take care of that. And I'll just pop it open so you guys can see it.
So this is, again, perfect application for a school or something like that, right?
And it's the same thing. Everything's labeled, go through the same application. And what you'll notice is on your kit, the one I sent you, the tourniquet's down on the bottom. So it's all the kits are made the same. So when you start triaging, the kit will actually run you through and across. So most severe, on your left-hand side, all the way out to, hey, I got, I'm meeting my OSHA standard with my owies and boo-boo kit, my little first aid stuff, So.
Very cool. I'll leave that right there for everybody to check out. So this is the personal kit, which again has everything you need. If you were going to even, have to put a tourniquet on by yourself, you'd be able to do it. You have your kit here. If you need the app to have someone help you along the way, it's there. Obviously, again, you can't expect everyone that's in an engineering firm to have medical background training. So they talk to someone like Justin, they get him in there, he does the demonstration, they say, yeah, we want that thing. From there, it's kind of up to the corporation, the company, to make sure that the people have access to the app. Is that kind of the way I'm reading this?
That's correct. So you can download the app, have access to it. I just see the question, can you use the kits without the app?
Sure.
You can. Yeah, you can. Depends on what your level of comfort is from your medical background, or in the public access kits. So these are four individual ones in here.
Well, I'm going to share Facebook with that as well. So these are the kits that, again, public access, they would be everywhere. People would be aware.
These would be like, for instance, if you're at a park, these could be set up in a mounted area. So we got 4 kits on the inside in each individual kit. And the only thing that's different about these is just the packaging. So it's the same kit that you have without the MOLLE system on the back.
Gotcha.
But inside of these kits comes a breakout card. Okay. So we'll walk you through the kit, every bit of it. So, and the reason why this was done is because you may have people who have, are visiting internationally, don't read English, but yet they can see numbers and understand color codes. So now you've got the ability to do that too and not have the app.
Got it. Understood. So, but who it's going to help is, again, someone like an 11-year-old, an 8-year-old. Boy, you go to any restaurant and you'll see these kids are all over these things better than their parents. We know this. And it's just, to me, the mission includes this notion that we need to make it acceptable that people have this equipment, that people have the knowledge, that people understand the difference between tourniquets and know how to use them.
Right.
In just a bit, we're going to get into these videos and talk about, some of the examples of police using them in real life.
Mm-hmm.
But the average person, once again, we got to break through that barrier and make sure that people understand that A, yeah, it can happen, but B, it's not a big deal. This is not a big deal. It is a tiny insurance policy, and you all should be glad that I have it, because if I'm somewhere and someone needs it, it's coming out of my pocket for you.
Mm-hmm. But here's where you run into some issues with that, Kevin, is you get a lot of people who then immediately they think, oh, well, I'm going to get sued if I touch somebody. I'm going to get sued if I use this product. At the end of the day, it's risk versus liability. And really, are you going to stand there and watch somebody bleed out because you just are worried about getting sued when you have the capability to provide or save their life? So when it boils down to it, Mobilized Rescue went through all of this. And the reason why you don't see anything going internally, you've got some kits out there will do, compression needles, those kind of things to where they're going actually into the cavity. Mobilized Rescue took a step back from that because it stays within inside the bystander save lives law. So Good Samaritan law. That's what I was looking for.
There you go. The Good Samaritan. I'm sorry. I'm moving a screen around for the next thing. But yeah, Good Samaritan law. That basically covers us from getting sued.
Right. And the nice thing is too, and I hadn't showed you yet this, Kevin, but when you go through the app and you actually go to the point where EMS has arrived, so you pick something, you hit EMS has arrived. So you can just go through there real quick. I'll talk while you're doing it.
Got it. EMS has arrived.
Now it goes through the decontamination process. Tells you actually how to take your gloves off, how to decontaminate yourself so you don't get any blood trace or anything else on yourself. At the end of that, you'll see where it says logged treatment or something like that. It should be right towards the back.
Show summary.
So show summary. Now what has happened is it has date time stamped everything that you have done.
Hold on. Sure as shit did.
Yeah.
Oh.
So now when EMS has arrived and they say, hey, what did you do? They can take a screenshot of this, have it with them, already see what medical procedures or protocols have been used. And on top of that, that list stays within the system the entire lifetime of the system.
So it stays in there.
Have the pads in them with the bigger iPad, same thing. So that's really where, you can mitigate the fact of like, hey, at the end of the day, if somebody wants to sue you because you treated them, they think that you didn't treat them correctly, hand it over to the attorneys and let that figure out,
Or like Ross said, hey, here's this awesome kit. Does anyone here, is there a doctor in the house?
Right.
I'm a marine biologist.
Right.
So back to the other thing that I wanted to mention is this comes with the iPad. This is not you install an iPad and get an app. That system that you just showed everybody, that again, I foresee it, fire extinguisher, heart attack machine, mobilized rescue systems unit sitting there.
That's correct. The only two kits that do not come with an actual pad integrated with it are basically the compact kit you have here and the iPACs, which is the red one I just showed a minute ago, the smaller kits. But the comprehensive, the hard case one, yes, that will have the pad in it. And then the mobilized kit, which is basically a Go backpack. So you can throw it over both shoulders for a React team. That does have a system inside of it as well.
Fantastic.
So, Justin, is there any plans to offer an app that people can get that guide them through situations like that? Not necessarily that direct them to certain pieces of a kit, but that offer instruction?
I've seen a few things, I think, kicking around there right now. But again, technology is trying to catch up with, what people are doing. So I think if I understand your question right, is there an app that I can have on my phone where, let's say, for instance, like a hurricane. So, I'm in the middle of a hurricane. What are things that I should be thinking about X, Y, Z? FEMA has some of that stuff that's out there. But for an individual to have it on their phone, I don't know of any. I'm not aware of any of those.
Gotcha. I guess I'm more thinking about like your system is just for a general kit as opposed to your kit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right. So inside Mobilized Rescue, if you go through treatment, and that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier before we jumped on to the logging and the liability. If you come upon somebody who's having a medical episode, so maybe they're seizing or something like that, and you start going through the process and the system itself, the algorithm will actually basically help you identify. So if you don't know what a seizure is, but they're non-responsive, they're breathing, everything else, then it goes into what they call jump screens within the system. So the one that you guys have got your hands on along with the big one as well, it'll go to a jump screen and then it'll say, okay, well, hey, are they seizing? This kind of, if you don't know what a seizure is, you click on that and it'll explain to you what a seizure is.
Interesting. But no, you can't just buy it as a standalone app. That was the other question.
Buy it as a standalone app. You can download the app. You will have to register the app itself. Whoever that individual is, they can give me a contact direct if they want to look at it, and I'll get them a demo code that they can use it on.
All right. So go to awareandprepared.live, go to the bottom, click on the Mobilized Rescue Systems logo. It'll take you right to Justin's page where these products are sold. You'll see the individuals, you see the big kits, you'll see it all. Good deal.